Small acts of cope are ruining your life. I know this was kind of a dramatic intro, let's get that out of the way. But I really mean this. Small acts of cope are ruining your life slowly. I see this a lot again in myself, so this is more of a personal example, but you may relate to this as well. When you're in pain, when something in your life isn't going according to what you wanted, let's say that you are, I don't know, you are single and you want a girlfriend, you will try to run away from this pain. A lot of us feel like we're unable to deal with the pain, with the emotional pain that comes with loneliness, let's say, and you will try to run away from this pain. And you'll try to run away from this pain in micro actions that you don't even necessarily are aware. For example, let's think of the big ones first, all right? Because they're easy examples. You may spend long times on the internet just escaping your pain. And you know what I mean, right? You're in a self-help YouTube channel. You know what I mean? You go on YouTube for hours. You'll go on Reddit. You'll go on fucking Instagram Reels. You know what I mean, right? But it's even deeper than that when you're coping with pain. It goes even deeper than that. Any kind of action is going to make you be present to the moment. And when you're present to the moment, you're fully aware of the lack of the pain that you feel, right? For example, if you're coping, you'll have a hard time focusing at work because focusing implies that you cannot get a dopamine hit to escape that pain. It's like you have to be off the drug for a second. You'll have trouble getting out of bed because getting out of bed implies that for a second you might not distract yourself, right? Because you'll be in bed on your phone. You may have trouble leaving the shower because the warm water feels good and the music, and it gets you kind of distracted. But once the stimulation goes away, then you kind of feel stressed. You feel the cortisol hit. You don't feel that dopamine that's just patching up your pain. So it becomes very difficult to then get out of this Chinese finger trap, right? It's like when you try to get out, you feel pain. When you're in this thing, you feel like this momentary pleasure, but you know it's not really accomplishing much, right? You know you're on your phone, but it's not really doing much. So how do you do it? How do you basically leave this shitty comforts of the dopamine hits, go through the valley of pain, and then come out on the other side triumphant, right? Well, there's a couple of things you can do. First of all, I think you can just embrace the pain. Just accept that the pain is part of the human experience, and then use that pain as motivation to take action, which is mainly what I do. But something that I've been feeling that has been helping me a lot lately has been to try and transcend, and this sounds hippie, I know. I mean, guys, we are approaching authenticity. This is what we do. We go into the weird parts, the esotericism, the spirituality. You can call it what you want, but this is what we do, okay? What you have to do, not have, but what you can do is to go beyond the physical needs of the body, and you go into the spiritual realm. You tap into that which goes beyond the physical, the spiritual. One thing I do, weirdly enough, is to listen to the Bible. I listen to an audiobook from the Sermon of the Mount by David Suchet. This is something also recommended by the RSD guys. And when you do that, at least for me, it's so crazy because these texts have such a profound impact that when you're listening to them, it just becomes obvious what you have to do. It's like, oh, okay, everything else is just noise. I just kind of have to record this YouTube video. And it's so incredibly profound to hear these teachings that it just puts everything in perspective. Because then you're like, oh, right, this is just my body craving dopamine because it feels cortisol. And then you just go on and do something else because your will transcends your body. You're able to transcend. You're more than just these neurochemicals. You're more than that. And once you manifest the fact that you're more than that, you become connected to the spirit because that's what you tap into. Once your body is no longer basically aligned, once your neurochemistry is not aligned to your soul, you tap into your soul. And that's incredibly profound. And honestly, I cannot recommend you a single action more than to just listen to the Sermon on the Mount on Spotify with David Suchet's narration. It's like, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just crazy, okay? But once I listen to that passage, it's like I know exactly what I need to do. So give it a try and let me know how it goes. So it's a small video on how to stop coping and micro coping and the symptoms of micro coping. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.